All right, so today we're going to talk about what the Great Reset is about, how it starts, and what it actually is. You can already see changes in your daily life and some of the implications of it. I'm Nasco, and this is my first attempt at a YouTube video, so if you guys like it, like. If you don't like, and just throw me in the comments. The topic of the day today is the decline in TV viewers and what the implications are when it comes to the changing of your daily life, control of information. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about was the decline in sports. This is definitely a temporary event, but it's going to have an impact on how the future is going to unfold. Just a some quick numbers here. Stanley Cup final down 61%. Horse racing events 56, 43, 32, let's say 45%. PGA Tour down 56%. And think about golfing, it was never dependent on big crowds. It's mostly a TV sport. So down 56%. Huge. That's during a pandemic. That's during an event where everybody is stuck at home and you're down 56% for a sport that has never relied on live audiences. It's insane. NFL first quarter down 10%. That's pretty good. That's pretty good comparatively. Otherwise not good. But I watch a lot of soccer. Soccer is pretty boring when there's no fans, so I kind of get that. That's actually pretty good. Regular season TV ratings down 26%. So what does that mean going forward if these numbers keep up or don't even bounce to the levels that they were before? What that means is the price for TV packages will go down. And you know, sharks like Jeff Bezos and other streaming providers, DAZN, Amazon Prime definitely, probably YouTube at one point of time, are chomping at the bit to get live sports cheaper. And this is their opening. And while the TV ratings are down, TV networks are not going to want to pay that much. Amazon is getting richer by the day. Same with YouTube. So once sports starts migrating, just the first one that bites the bullet goes streaming service, it's going to be an avalanche. That avalanche is going to have huge impacts on TV going forward. Not immediately, but going forward, and I'm going to explain why in a second. I want to talk about news, because news is probably the second biggest draw for live TV that is not sports. And look at what happens here. Fox News up 43%. Good. MSNBC 23%. CNN up 83%. They scored good amongst certain demographics, blah, blah, blah. But look at that number. Fox News, meanwhile, also had its best year, becoming the first ever cable news network to average more than 3 million viewers in prime time. 3 million viewers in prime time. On the smaller side, even tiny digital offering Newsy went from 3,000 to 8,000. That's pretty bad. So Fox News in prime time has 3 million viewers. This is a joke of a number. 3 million viewers. I'll tell you why it's a joke. I'm gonna go to Joe Rogan because I know his podcast has more, but he's not live. He's not news. However, there's people on YouTube starting to do news, basically live. I'll give you an example right now, which is the main reason why I'm doing that video, because this is a harbinger of what's gonna happen down the road. Maybe 3-4 years it will be the mainstream. Meet Kevin, a YouTuber that I'm sure a lot of you have heard. During the riots at the Capitol, had an average viewership of 1 million live on YouTube. That's a one-man show. One-man show. At least I think it's a one-man. Maybe he has 1 or 2 more people with him. One-man show essentially had 1 million viewers. And Fox News, with its big budgets, with its big contracts for their personalities and talking heads and all that, are averaging 3 million viewers a day. So let's say Meet Kevin down the road starts averaging 300,000 a day. Men's show with a webcam and basically a small studio is taking 10% of what Fox News is. So what does that mean going down 3-4 years down the road? A one-man show person has 10% of what Fox News had, and that's after Fox News had an increase of 43%. And Fox News is the biggest news network. That's why I'm bringing them up. This is a joke on a lot of levels. First level is that highly paid producers, talking heads, marketing guys, all kinds of paid shills are basically failing against the one guy. And like I said, he's not the biggest one, and he's probably the first one to go a little bit more mainstream, but he's not going to be the last one. That's implication. That's the first part of the joke. How is it that one guy becomes more popular than a crew of hundreds in an established TV network with budgets, with tax breaks, with access to politicians, CEOs, celebrities, and he's beating them all? He doesn't have anybody to interview. He doesn't have anybody to guest star. He's just a one guy working on his iPad, delivering much more interesting information than the news networks. It's very well produced, but it's not overproduced. He's kicking their asses, and that's gonna accelerate, especially the moment happens where sports goes streaming, because then you will have no reason to have a cable subscription. What are the implications of that, though? What does this have to do with the Great Reset? Well, let's think about how news networks work now and how YouTube works. News networks are, on the face of it, independent. Yes, they're dependent on their advertisers, but on the face of it, they're independent. Have they been doing a good job? Have they been calling out the truth? No. That's why their viewership is declining, and it will keep on declining. YouTube, on the other hand, right now seems a much more free place, but only seems like that. If you see what's going on with a president being deplatformed, basically banned from all social media, imagine what happens if a guy like Meet Kevin starts talking about something that is not convenient to the powers that be. Of course, they might go to him, tell him, hey, take a chill pill, don't talk about that subject, not nice. That's the first form of propaganda control. And because he's a one-man show, they have a lot of leverage over him. They can try to crush him like a bug. They might succeed, they might not. But let's say he has the balls and he doesn't give in to that pressure. Well, next is Google. And Google, we've seen, is very willing to play ball with the government. They will take down an application, they'll take down channels, they'll take down the president, and then the propaganda is much more powerful, because all of your news is is a source of 1-2 men shows that are very easily pressured by the powers that be. YouTube can turn off your channel, or the money that comes in from your channel, just because you mentioned the wrong word of a certain virus, and you have no money, you don't have a living. Now, this is not something that can happen to a news channel. News channel has marketing guys, they have many ways of getting money and revenue for their product. A YouTuber has only one way. Well, they can start getting paid advertisement built in, but then it becomes much more like a TV network, more expensive, and you need more people selling advertising, kind of like what Joe Rogan is doing, and he got sick of it and so where YouTube is going and moved to Spotify. So the Great Reset part of it is right now, as bad as news networks are, as bad as the information they give is controlled, as bad as and as boring as it is, there is a very, very high chance once that change takes place, sports moves to streaming, news becomes a one-man show, guy with a webcam taking over the telling you the news, reading from CNET, not CNET, was it C-SPAN? Then propaganda becomes times and times more powerful, and then they tell you what you need. If Mate Kevin doesn't have the balls to stand up to the pressure, he starts telling you what they want you to hear, kind of like what the news networks do now. But they're being so bad about it that it's obvious. And if he's not bad about it and it's not obvious, well, we're all screwed. And this is the Great Reset. This is part of the Great Reset. It's happening, and that's why I'm making that video, bring awareness and find some solutions, because I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Bye.